Are you thinking about making a move to Colorado and you keep hearing about these things called Metro Districts and you're wondering, what is a Metro District and how is it different than an HOA? Well, you're in luck. Today, I'm going to talk about what a Metro District is and the differences between that and an HOA. So let's hang out. What's up, you guys? Mitchell Gonzalez, that bearded guy. If you've seen one of my videos in the past, thanks for coming back. If you're checking out one of my videos for the very first time, make sure you do click that red subscribe button below, as I do post weekly content all about living in and moving to a lot of the Colorado area. Along with that, as much as I love making these videos, I love helping people find their dream homes even more. I am a licensed broker out here in Colorado, so if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, invest in a home, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text, write me an email. I'm available 24/7 to answer any questions you may have. You came here to learn about Metro Districts. You probably stumbled across this video because maybe you saw a listing that said it was on a Metro District. Maybe you are looking at new builds and they keep talking about Metro Districts and you're like, what are these things? If that's you, I don't blame you. I was in the same boat about 9 years ago. Had no idea what a Metro District was. Now, this was before I was in real estate and everything. But didn't know what a Metro District was. When I went into the new build, it was basically pitched that the neighborhood had no HOA, and really that's not the case. If you're thinking about buying a home in a Metro District, make sure that you're working with a professional that understands Metro Districts, understands the difference between Metro District and HOAs. This guy, I'm uniquely qualified because last year I decided to run for my Metro District and was nominated as president. So I have a little bit of experience with Metro Districts and how they run. So I'm gonna do the best I can to kind of go over these differences. Odds are, if you're looking at a home that's like 25 years or newer, there's a good chance that's in a Metro District. Now, obviously it's not like a concrete rule, but there's a good chance. So if you're looking at a new build, good chance it's in a Metro District. You know, if you are looking at a new build and you don't have an agent, you can hire on an agent and the new build will typically pay the commission. So you can have that professional that works with you on it, represents you, and understands the difference between Metro Districts and HOAs. Just because you're on a Metro District doesn't mean that there isn't an HOA. The way that Metro Districts work is a developer buys a piece of land to build homes on, right? And sell the homes to the clients, the customers. And so when they buy that piece of land, normally it's just a piece of land. It has no infrastructure on it or anything. Obviously, an infrastructure needs to be built. It needs to get excavated, backfilled, there needs to be sewer, water, all the necessary amenities that go towards all the homes. So there's a couple ways that they can go at funding that. The first is they can just run it into the cost of each individual home, which would be extremely expensive. It could raise the price of your home easily $100,000. The second is they can hold it to a city vote. So you can go to the city and say, hey, in let's just say North Denver for the sake of this video, North Denver, there is a Metro District being built in South Denver, 5,000 homes, and it's going to cost X amount of dollars. So we are going to raise your taxes to build up this neighborhood down here, all the amenities. You're going to be paying taxes for it, and these guys are going to be benefiting for it. Let's hold it to a vote and see what happens. Do you think they're going to vote to raise their taxes for the new build community that they won't be living on? Not a chance. So what normally happens is the builder goes and creates what is called a Metro District. And this is a legit government entity. So basically it has to be approved by the city. They have to create a whole service plan that says what the Metro District can do, what they can't do, how much debt they're issuing, the types of homes they're building, how many homes they're building, the price of homes. They have to come up with the whole service plan, and it has to be approved by the city. Then the court goes and creates the Metro District, which is a quasi-government entity, and they hold an election. In order to run for one of these Metro District boards, you have to live in the community. Now, obviously, the issue there is that if there's no homes being built, who can run for the board? Well, the answer to that is the developer. So the developer is running for the board. They hold all the board positions while you wait for homes to be built. They're the ones that are making the financial decisions, issuing debt on the committee or community, building things out. So make sure that if you are joining one of these Metro District boards, it's a builder that is thinking about the customer and doing what's best for the future homeowners, because there are some builders that really walk that line of what's best for the homeowner and what is best for the builder. I'm not going to get into it for this video because it would be a super fun video, but I'm not going to. So they hold an election. The developer holds the board seats. Now, what a lot of developers will do is they'll hold several different metro districts. There might be, 3, 4, 5 different metro district boards. So even though it's all the same neighborhood, it could be several different sections that they're doing that in. And what they can do is now they can issue debt, they can pull tax-exempt bonds to help fund the infrastructure. So that's the money that's going to be used to excavate the land, to put water in, put the sewer system in, build parks, build rec centers. It's gonna be a tax-exempt bond that is used to create those. And so now a bond is basically a loan. I wasn't sure what a bond was because I come from construction where it's more of a form of insurance, but it's basically to help build the infrastructure. And then that is now built into your taxes. So you have taxes that help pay off that bond. So the important thing to know about when a district issues bonds or issues new debt, that is going to increase your tax amount. So you're going to be paying higher taxes just to pay off these bonds. Along with that, they are going to issue taxes to help support the neighborhood itself. So you're going to have a large portion of your taxes going towards bond payment. And this is on top of like the city and state taxes that you're paying. And then you're also going to have taxes that go towards your operations and maintenance. So this is going to be your things like your parks, your pools, your clubhouse, your snow removal, your landscaping, so mowing the lawns, fixing trees, all of that, monuments, hanging Christmas lights if that's a thing. And then of course, all of your admin costs, management, they're going to pay a management company. They're going to pay accountants, a legal team, a lot of different admin costs that you're also paying. So this will make a much higher tax amount, anywhere from like 1 to 1.3% of your property value. That could be your tax amount for a metro district. So even though there might not be an HOA, you are probably going to be paying much higher taxes. Just because you're on a metro district doesn't mean that there isn't an HOA. There could be a metro district, there could be an HOA, there could be a metro district and an HOA. So it could be one, could be the other, could be both, could be neither. That's where it's important that you and your agent are working together to know what all is included, because an HOA fee still can be a part of it. And an important thing to know is that even if you move into a neighborhood and they're saying that there's no HOA fee, the Metro District can always implement an HOA or a facility fee if they're ever short budget and they need money maybe to open up the pool or the clubhouse or update landscaping. Next important thing is, like I was talking about earlier, when these Metro Districts start off, it's going to be a board that's full of developers. As they are building out the communities, now the homeowners can start running for the board. So you can either get elected to it or you can be appointed. So if there's a vacant seat, they can appoint someone to it. It's important to get on your board as quickly as possible if you have that ability, because you'd rather have your board ran by residents than by builders. Some builders might try and keep developers on there as long as possible, but if you're a homeowner and you're in a metro district, definitely run for your board if you want to make a difference, because you can be elected or appointed. The metro districts are now going to have these meetings where they're going to talk about how they are maintaining the neighborhood. They're going to talk about the budgets, the finances. This is important to know because you don't have voting rights unless if you are a board of director for a metro district. All the meetings are open that the board of directors has, and there are public comments, so you can see what's going on. You can go out there and comment. Now, know that you can jump on there and you can make a comment. The board of directors might answer it. If you have a question, they might answer it, they might not. But the way that's set up, it is a public comment, not a public Q&A. There should be a lot of transparency on your board, access for you to see what's going on, get records, and there's been a lot of work done over the last year or two to give more access to homeowners on what is going on the respective metro district boards. So public comment, there's audits, there's a lot of different things that happen with the metro district boards. Another important thing to note is that, like I said, the taxes are higher because of the bonds, because of the operations and maintenance. Now, when the bonds are pulled, they are very long-term debt, anywhere from 30 to 40 years worth of debt. Once those are paid off, there is the option where the metro district can vote to lower the mill levy, so that way you have a lower tax amount. Now, you're still gonna have your operations and maintenance mill levies on there, so that way just the neighborhood can fund, all the amenities can keep going. Once the debt is dropped, then that can lower your tax amount as well. That's a metro district board. I'm gonna go briefly into HOAs because I think the roles for an HOA are not quite as extensive as a metro district, but it's obviously important to know. So most HOAs are a private entity that are set up as a nonprofit. They can still have board of directors and everything, but the nice thing is that every homeowner gets a vote. They're gonna have their own bylaws, their own covenants, And if there's ever a vote to change those, all the homeowners have a right to vote, whereas a Metro District is just the board of directors. So it's a covenant-controlled community. There's a board that enforces those covenants, enforces the bylaws. They can always be modified by the shareholders, but basically they are there to maintain common areas, enforce community rules and regulations. So if there's certain rules, they're trying to keep the yards looking a certain way, the house is looking a certain way, making sure a person doesn't go and paint their house a crazy color. They have rules in place for that. Rules where you can't park your trailer in the driveway for extended periods of time, just certain things like that that they're enforcing. And that is, like I said, enforced through a board. As a homeowner, you do have a voting right on that. So that's kind of how an HOA works. Quick overview of the difference between the two. An HOA focuses on maintaining a community and has a board of directors with homeowners that have voting rights. A Metro District board is ran by the board of directors, a lot of times filled with the developer's employees, but can eventually get turned over to the residents. But that is an important thing to know. Public can attend meetings, but cannot really make any major decisions. And their focus is on financing, budgeting to run the community and provide public improvements. That's the difference between HOAs and Metro Districts. Maybe not the most exciting topic, but it is definitely extremely important that you know it, especially if you are looking at moving into a new build community. Make sure you have an agent that understands the difference. If you have any other questions about Metro Districts, new builds, housing, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text, write me an email. I would be happy to chat with you more. I could talk about Metro Districts for a much longer period of time than I ever thought I would be able to. So if you want to talk more about them, give me a call. We can chat more. If you haven't had a chance yet, make sure you click that red subscribe button below, as I do post weekly content all about living in and moving to Colorado. So with that being said, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. That bearded guy, signing off.